Welcome back to Bay Sunday. Please welcome Lenora Williams to tell us about a Model UN event coming up on the UC Berkeley campus. Good to have you with us.
Oh, thank you.
So tell me about the event that's coming up.
We are having an event. It's two organizations, two great nonprofits coming together. It's the United Nations Association and also Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. They're partnering to create a conference called Intergenerational Model UN.
So
I know, it's
that
like
mean?
Model UN is like everybody knows that. When I say intergeneration, they look at me like, what are you saying?
Right.
So intergeneration is when we pair young people with adults and we tackle global issues. So we look at the United Nations, and the United Nations Association is to support the United Nations. So the United Nations has several sustainable goals, and there's 17 of them, including things like working with the LGBT community, creating sustainable communities, sustainable living, all of that. And we look at that in this Model UN conference. And we have young people and adults sit down and pick a topic, a goal for the United Nations, and then they pick a country. All over the United States, outside of the United States, they pick any country they want, Denmark, China, whatever. And we sit down and we talk about the issues in those countries.
And what are some of the global issues that we're talking about and that this conference is going to focus on?
So we'll be focused on 13. Well, I won't tell you all 13.
13, okay.
13.
Yeah, there are a lot of problems out there.
A lot of problems.
Yeah.
So we have climate change.
Okay.
We have mental health. We have sustainable communities. We have generations, when we're talking about generation gaps. We're talking about trafficking. We're talking about sustainable communities. We're talking about things about LGBT community, how we deal with the inequities and the inequalities in that. And we're sitting down and we're looking at those goals, and we actually give them a packet. And they get to learn about the goals. And then we have people who are experts, who are delegates, who this is what they do for a living. And they travel the world doing that. And they speak to our groups. And they teach them a little bit. And then we have them sit down and we learn about the country that they pick. And we learn what that country's stand is on those particular topics. So let's say I chose climate. And so I want to know what's happening with climate in Uganda. And I'll say, okay, the expert comes up and say, well, Uganda is saying that, they're not going to be able to do anything with climate change because they don't have the funds to do it. However, in 2015, maybe 2018, 2030, they'll tackle it. And we're saying, but Uganda is looking at ocean changes. They're looking at their life force won't be around, or there won't be agricultural systems. So what are we going to do as young people to make a change? What do we think we can do?
And how many people attend conferences like this?
This conference, last year we had the same conference without the partnership, and we had 300.
Okay.
This year with the partnership, we're looking at 500 plus, and then we're going to have it streamed, live streamed. So we'll have people all over the country looking in and participating as well.
So when you have a conference like this, you start off by talking about an issue, a global issue. What's the hope after that?
The hope is, and this is our motto, is to get young people, and we start with middle school, high school, and college students, and adults of all ages, to get them not only to think about the global issue in another country, but act in their own country. In the United States, for example, we want them to think global, but act local.
Right.
So we want to take that issue and say, if it's climate change and you see what's happening in these countries, what are you going to do about it in the United States? How are you going to become that global citizen that acts in your own community to make a change?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an inspiration for a lot of those kids who are talking about it. You mentioned middle school, high school. What's the age range for some of the students that come out here? Can elementary students come out and also participate, or is it?
Well, this is the concern we have when we deal with anything younger than middle school, is that it's hard for young people to grasp this larger concept of climate change. It's hard for them. It's not because they can't, but it takes us more time. This is a one-day conference, all day. So it's a lot to get in a little while. But middle school students step up to the plate all the time.
Right.
And high school students, we know.
Right.
And so we're dealing with those students becoming more global and actually doing interactions and exchange student type programs for them. But the middle school students, we're teaching them to begin to think that way.
Right.
Elementary school is a little bit harder, but we're looking at that.
But it is
But it
key
won't
to
be a
start.
one day.
It is key to start early, right?
Yes,
Get that in your mind.
early. And then the adults, too. We want to put the adults in the package because a lot of times as adults, we know these issues exist, but we don't have a place or a forum
Absolutely.
to talk about them.
Yeah.
And now we have young people where we can inspire them in the conversation. So it's really nice when you see the two of them working together, both generations.
All right, Lenora Williams, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. We appreciate
Okay.
your time.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to make sure that we invite high school students. We need more high school students. We need more middle school students to attend. And we just want you to go to our website. And I also want to say that this is a partnership with the United Nations Association East Bay, of which I'm a director, and also with Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Alpha Nu Omega chapter, which is Oakland, Berkeley.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lenora. And for more information, you can go about the Model UN event. You could log on to igmun.org. Once again, that's igmun.org. We'll be back with more Bay Sunday after this break.